gold medalist at Seoul, Korea. From Memphis, now living in Las Vegas, Kennedy McKINNEY, 3-0, and he'll take on David Moreno, who has a record of 10 victories and 3 defeats with 6 knockouts. David Moreno from Houston, and here's a look at the tail of the tape. Moreno actually a year younger than McKINNEY, and McKINNEey with the good height advantage. He is tall for his size. They both came in at 125 pounds in this 6-round featherweight bout. Same rules will apply here, the Nevada rules, and the referee is Davey Pearl tonight for this bout. And let's take you to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to 6 rounds in the featherweight division. The referee for this contest is Davey Pearl. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the white trunks with blue trim and weighs an even 125 pounds. From Houston, Texas, an excellent professional record of 10-3, 6 KOs. Introducing David Moreno. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks with silver trim, he also weighs an even 125 pounds. Originally from Memphis, Tennessee, now residing in Las Vegas and fighting for the Las Vegas Club stable. Undefeated as a professional with a record of 3-0, 2 by knockout victory. Ladies and gentlemen, gold medal champion Kennedy McKINNEY.
McKINNEey, I guess I said he was tall for his size, Clancy, which you picked up on. Obviously, I mean, he's a tall featherweight. My point, it is a nice height advantage for him. Final instructions from Davey Pearl.
Shake hands down, good luck.
Judges are Chuck Giampa, Bill Graham, and Paul Smith, all from Las Vegas. McKINNEey 3-0 with 2 knockouts. David Moreno, as we said, 10-3 with 6 KOs. And he was a good amateur as well, David Moreno, a 25-2 record. Silver medalist in the Summer Olympics, where he lost to U.S. Olympian Kelsey Banks. He is from Houston, Texas, trained by Joe Moreno. Has been 8 rounds twice in his young career. Lost his last outing over 8 to Mark Brooks. This is the first 6-round fight for Kennedy McKINNEey in the red trunks.
Tim, I noticed that McKINNEey don't have that much sweat on him when he came into the ring.
They should get it pretty quickly here in this 120-degree heat.
Well, he might be able to fight combos in this heat.
Now lives in Las Vegas, managed by a consortium here that includes UNLV Rebels coach Jerry Tarkanian.
I like this way this Moreno's coming right to work. He's coming right out, right to work. He's not playing around at all.
Marv, we watched Kennedy and McKINNEey in the gymnasium. And once he gets you on the end of the punch the way he did then, he'll come back and hit you with 3 or 4 more. Very, very accurate hands.
Yeah, he looks like he's got good defense too, also, I noticed. He's not giving him a chance to get away from anything.
McKINNEey had 270 amateur fights. Very experienced young boxer, 23 years of age. Trained by his Olympic coach, Ken Adams.
You wonder how much these guys, when they have all the many amateur fights, how well they do it. They don't get burnt out in the pros.
Well, I never believed in keeping a guy in the amateurs too long. Marv, 270 fights is a lot of fights as an amateur.
Exactly.
He lost only 10 of those, so he knows what victory is about.
Well, I feel as though that this Moreno now realizes that he's in a fight here.
Marv, you'll notice once in a while that Kennedy McKINNEey pulls his right shoulder back and almost switches to a southpaw. But look at the way those hands are so accurate.
Good combination.
He's getting Moreno on the end of all his punches. Big, long. He's got long reach.
Well, that's what he does well. I just don't like the fact with McKINNEey that he pulls that left shoulder back the way he's doing now, and he's susceptible to right hands.
What I like about what McKINNEey's doing, he looks very calm and patient.
That's those 270 amateur fights, Marv. He's been around.
With that many fights, you got to be fighting almost every day.
Under a minute to go in round number 1, scheduled for 6. McKINNEey in red.
See the way those hands move? Very, very accurate hands.
What I like is that he's catching him on the long end of his punches.
Like right on the end of the punch.
Right hand scored by Moreno. Under 30 seconds we go.
I wonder what would happen if McKINNEey decided on just stepping in with those punches instead of just...
Watching him in the gym, he doesn't do it, Marv. A lot of his punches are arm punches. Very stiff and very accurate, but he very seldom pivots on a punch.
Another right hand landed by Moreno.
Well, we noticed that in the gym, Tim. Jim Tim, that sounds pretty good.
Well, you know, I see Moreno backing up a little bit now, and that could be a bad sign right there. He's not coming forward like he did in the first beginning.
That's the end of round number 1. Following Kennedy McKinney into the corner. Met there by Percy Richardson, Ken Adams.
How you feel? Pretty good.
And Hank Johnson.
Use that. What'd you say? You're all right, Mac. Hack. You last in the jab. You last in the jab. You last in the jab. But you got to turn your right hand under and back with the hook, okay? Right hand under and up with the hook, okay? You with me? Right hand under with the hook. Right hand under, back with the hook. But the right hand is there.
That's Kenny Adams. Go back into the first round action. There's that solid left from McKinney.
There he slips that straight right hand and bang, right on the end of that punch.
That was a great move.
You can see Moreno buckled a little bit from that. Talking to young David Moreno this morning, said, you know, how do you like being an opponent? All these Olympians getting the publicity and the press conference here in Las Vegas. And he said, well, I see it as a chance to prove that I'm a better pro than McKinney's going to be, and I'm out there to win tonight. I'm not here to be an opponent. He's had 13 pro fights and won 10 of them.
Well, his manager is Richard Viscusi, and if he's anything like his father, he's a good manager, because Lou Viscusi was a legend as a fight manager, and one of his fighters was the great Willie Pep.
I think that McKinney's mouth is bleeding right now. I think Memorial hit him with a good stiff jab when he first came out of this round. When he's going forward, Memorial, he looks a lot better. When he starts backing up, that's when he gets in trouble. McKinney just takes advantage of him with a long reach.
There is a little blood from the mouth of Kennedy McKinney, Marvin, and David Moreno trying to take advantage of it. There's a good solid jab from McKinney.
The difference in the fight is the flurries by McKinney. When he hits you with one clean one, he'll come back with 2 or 3 more at the moment.
He's using that jab effectively now. If he can keep that snap on that jab, he can just use the jab all night and beat him.
Nice. Has those accurate hands.
Combination inside for McKinney scoring. He was the bantamweight champion in Seoul, but now a featherweight of 4 pounds.
Well, you know, automatically he's used to fighting guys of this caliber. You can tell that.
Looking very poised and confident in just his 4th professional bout and first at 6 rounds.
I think McKinney should go right back to that jab, lead with the jab, and that'll set up anything else he wants to
Big
throw.
right hand by Moreno, and there's a swelling under the left eye of McKinney from those right hands by Moreno.
And another right hand. Yep. Moreno starting to score here. A good combination. Another right hand by Moreno.
Nice.
Now McKinney comes back with a right of his own, but Moreno picking up his tempo. Under a minute to go in the 2nd round.
That's how Moreno does very well when he comes forward. When he stands back, that's when he gets in trouble.
He has to work that right hand overtime, Mom.
Moreno said he didn't want to be just the opponent here. He's looking for a chance to show what he can do.
When he stays down low, Moreno, he does real well also. He should keep the head down and try to punch more to the body, then fool him with something over top.
You take a look at that Kennedy McKinney when he pulls that left shoulder back, Mom. He almost switches to southpaw, and he leaves him wide open for that right hand.
Exactly.
If Moreno pushes him, he can fall down.
Yeah, but he looks like he's ready to shoot the right hand is why he's leaning that. This is where McKinney gets in trouble because he comes up. When he's down there, he brings his head back up.
Final seconds of round number 2, and David Moreno doing a good job in that 2nd round. Certainly had the more effective punches, although the judges may see more scoring punches from McKinney over the round. Let's go into McKinney's corner, the Olympic gold medalist, and have a little better look as Percy Richardson.
Let him go. You're not letting your hands go. Don't sit back and hold and wait.
That's the sponge. That's it.
You understand, man?
Get him. Get him with the sponge. Get him.
Percy Richardson using the end swell, that refrigerated piece of metal there to get the swelling down. And you can hear Ken Adams.
Pop a step in with the pop right hand. Come back. Also, turn your left hook and the right hand under, okay? Okay. Come on, you got to put more in. You're not stepping.
Jerry Tarkanian, coach of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, running Rebels basketball team. And as we said, he has an interest in Kennedy McKinney. Must be a big thrill for him to see his young man working here tonight and on this big fight card, which will feature Leonard Hearns 2, The War, coming up later on our telecast being seen around the world. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy, Marvelous Marvin Hagler at ringside, Jim Hill and Al Bernstein. The rest of our broadcast crew with lots of activity still ahead. Round number 3. I scored that round for Moreno. So Kennedy McKinney has himself in there with a young man who has something to prove and showed what in round 2.
You know, he's got to constantly keep coming, this Moreno. When he comes at him, he looks a lot better when he starts off fast in the beginning of the round with the body shots. Then he gets relaxed out there, and that's when he gets in trouble.
Marv, if I was McKinney, I'd do just exactly what you said he should do. Win the rounds with the left jab. The other punches will come off by themselves.
Exactly. See, that's how he gets himself in trouble. There was Moreno with a good right hand.
And that backed McKinney up.
Exactly.
He knew he got hit with that punch.
He knew he did. He's moving a little bit more now. He realized this Moreno wants to win. That's a mark of a good fighter.
See, Marv, the way he just about faces the guy.
He's coming right at him now. Moreno's coming right at him, and that's when he's more effective. If I was McKinney, I would be using that jab.
Jab and side to side.
That's it. Just box this guy.
Good right landed by McKinney. And another combination, starting to target his punches a little more.
Did you notice that that was a right hand by McKinney first and then the left jab?
That's right, it was. Just scored another right. Leads again with the right.
This is what I was telling you. When he's in the inside, McKinney comes back up. He got a bad habit of that. He picks his head back up.
You know, Carbajal said he liked the slow pace of the throws a little better. This is like an amateur fight, the way these guys are throwing punches.
And McKinney landed another combination.
He should have took advantage of that move just then.
Moreno having some problems with the McKinney jab now.
Well, but he's getting caught with unnecessary punches. You know, McKinney should box more, like I said, and use the jab.
3 more scoring punches from McKinney.
You can just see that Moreno is so determined, Tim.
He hasn't backed up, that's for sure.
He gets in trouble when he's backed up, like right here. He's standing still.
Another combination by McKinney.
That's those hands of gold we were talking about that McKinney has. He can really put them together.
He's got that reach. He's got a long reach. The featherweights, as you know, throw many punches.
Under 30 seconds.
You wonder how this heat has affected him at all. You wonder. I think Moreno probably more used to the heat than McKinney is.
Went to the body for the first time, now back up to the head and backing Moreno toward the ropes. But look at Moreno fire back.
McKinney, he feels that too. Well, he knows he should have been back. He's coming back in. I think they're taking shot for shot.
With a big round for Kennedy McKinney here in the 3rd. Scheduled for 6. Kennedy McKinney rallying from the tide, having turned in Moreno's favor in round 2.
Get some zip now. Come on, get some zip. Let your punches go. Let your punches go. You understand me? You understand me? Are you with me? Are you with me? Let them go. You pushing them. Snap them. Snap the punches.
Well, you can see McKinney a lot busier as we look at the acetate punch stat here. 155 jabs thrown through the 3 rounds, and I venture to say a lot of those that scored occurred in round 3, whereas you saw the percentage not that high. That's because he missed a lot of them in the first couple of rounds. David Moreno, on the other hand, 29 for 112, 26% effectiveness in his jab. His best punch so far has been the right hand. Did cause some swelling under the left eye of Kennedy McKinney in round 2.
Run it over, Mike. Run it over.
Round number 4, scheduled for 6. Featherweights. Kennedy McKinney, the Olympic gold medalist at the bantamweight in Seoul, Korea. 3-0, and David Moreno, a 10-3 mark, young pro from Houston, Texas.
That's what McKinney should be doing, just using the jab and moving. Just keep him out there.
Right now, the big difference is the accuracy of McKinney's punches. He lands such a high percentage of punches.
I think that cut over McKinney's eye is an old cut.
That's another thing when you're talking about staying too long in the amateurs. The way a lot of these Cubans did 270 fights, they wind up with scar tissue. And when they turn pro, they're not they're susceptible to cut.
we should point out there's no bleeding from that. You're simply seeing scar tissue from an old one, are you, Marvin?
Yes, that's what I'm looking at.
It looks like an angry red welt underneath the eye.
Right.
That Richards has been working on.
Moreno just caught it with a nice right hook, nice right hand.
And a left behind it inside. No question, Moreno, once he gets in close, has been effective in there. Another right landed.
But he's starting to back up out of there now, Tom.
That's right.
He's got to put the pressure on him. He's got to put the pressure on McKinney. He's got to throw punches, keep him busy.
This is great experience for McKinney because if he can go 6 rounds in this heat, he'll be able to go 10 under normal conditions.
Oh, good right hand by McKinney. Snap back to head of Moreno. Short right inside. Clips the chin of Moreno.
Phil, I think if I can sit here and stand this 120 degrees heat, I think I can stand anything.
What was the hottest that you remember out here in Las Vegas for you?
Oh, I think somewhere about the 105 maybe.
Nice combination by McKinney inside.
Under a minute to go in round number 4.
You know, Marvin, I remember you fighting here in Las Vegas, and it was freezing.
Yes, I like the cold.
The steam was coming off your head.
I like the cold. Or the rain. I remember the Mugabe fight.
A little blood from the nose of David Moreno now, and a good combination scored by McKinney. And another.
That's because he's backing up again, Phil.
Moreno backing up and getting himself into trouble on the end of those punches of taller, longer arm McKinney.
Moreno doesn't have the hand speed or the skills of McKinney. He's in there strictly on determination.
Right hand snaps back to head again of Moreno.
I see McKinney dropping that left hand a lot. See the left hand down there?
But now it turned into target practice here as Moreno backing up a little wobbly. McKinney after him in the 4th round. A right hand by McKinney. That staggered nice. Moreno. He's in trouble.
Sure, that was a nice one.
Combination, that was 3-punch combination. Now he's punching to the body and go back up to the head.
I think McKinney felt something that round.
Big round for Kennedy McKinney. Scheduled for 6, and David Moreno back to his corner, but in some trouble now as he's met there by his dad, Joe Moreno, and trainer Bill Benton.
You got the spare? Here it is.
Put that out for A very game guy, David Moreno, said he wanted to prove that he could fight with these guys. Let's listen.
You understand? You have to take this round. You gotta come on.
Back in round number 4, we'll see that right hand from Kennedy McKinney.
And there's McKinney with his hand behind Moreno's neck. Maybe an amateur, but he got some pro tricks. There's that left hook. And look at the accuracy of his hands. There he's pulling him forward with that left hand.
Breaking the dude. Let's go. Second down. Deep breath. Come on.
Some of the tricks of the pros, and only his 4th fight for the Olympic champion. Kennedy McKinney in red, David Moreno in white, and crowd starting to really fill up the seats here at Caesars Palace. There will be 15,300 capacity by the time the main eventers arrive. In fact, well before then, I am sure, as we have Andrew Maynard and Ray Mercer still ahead, 2 American Olympic gold medalists, and Robert Wangila from Kenya, also another Olympic gold medal winner.
Tim, I feel as though that if McKinney hit Moreno with another good right hand, that's going to be the end of this fight.
1 or 2 good solid punches is all it'll take right now.
Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your energy.
How effortlessly McKinney just drops that right hand in there. Just straight as an arrow.
But he's dropping his left, though. That's a bad habit.
Well, that's what we noticed in the gym, Martin, that he can be hit with right hands. They're going to have to work on that.
See it there? Pulls it and drops it. Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, his hands are so quick. So much quicker and more accurate than Moreno's.
Round number 5, scheduled for 6, this featherweight bout.
I see how McKinney gets in trouble here now. When he's in tight, that left hand drops, and he's vulnerable for that right. See that overhand right?
Left hand drops, and he pulls his left shoulder back. He faces the guy. Leaves himself wide open.
There's a left scored by Moreno. But right back comes McKinney with a combination. 3 punches.
Look at him dropping that hand. Makes me nervous.
I promise you that Moreno won't hit you. Don't be nervous.
A little blood again from the nose of McKinney. More damage has been done to David Moreno at this point.
Nice right hand by McKinney just then.
minute to go in the 5th round.
You know what I feel that is bad when the corner man is in there.
Good combination. He's got him in trouble again. Moreno, a little unsteady on his legs, but gamely hanging in.
As I was saying, Tim, where the corner is yelling, you can hear his corner yelling and almost telling your opponent what to do, what you're going to be throwing.
So you wouldn't advise that. It's supposed to be illegal anyway.
Oh, it's supposed to be. Too much excitement out here.
Under 30 seconds we go in round number 5.
You know, I think this fight would be over except for the heat. I think that McKinney's had to pace himself a little bit. If he put the pressure on Moreno now, this fight would be over.
Mark, why are you pulling out?
There's a right hand.
You can hear his corner telling him, why is he pulling out of there? They want him to put the pressure on him now to shoot the right hand.
Into round number 5. Kennedy McKinney and David Moreno.
Well, McKinney's not breathing at all.
Well, I hope he's breathing some, Marvin, but he doesn't look to be in a whole lot of difficulty, but he has taken some punishment from David Moreno. Well, still to come, more Olympians, and then the main event. Thomas Hearns has arrived in his dressing room and just getting himself organized for the biggest night of his boxing life. The rematch he's waited for nearly 8 years. It'll be for the WBC Super Middleweight Championship against Sugar Ray Leonard. Thomas Hearns got himself in outstanding physical condition for this bout, although as we commented near the top, going back looking at Kennedy McKinney at work, some question about whether Hearns may have worked a little too hard to get down to the self-imposed or at least agreed upon unofficial limit of 164 pounds rather than the 168 mandated by the WBC Super Middleweight Division.
And actually it was 163 and a half. And he came in 162 and a half, 1 pound under the agreed for the stipulation in the contract.
So it didn't cost him any extra money, but whether it hurt him in any other way, we'll find out later. Meanwhile, round 6, the final round here is Kennedy McKinney against David Moreno, fighting a very game young man from Houston, Texas. We have McKinney comfortably ahead, giving the 2nd round only to Moreno.
And Marv, you mentioned that McKinney wasn't breathing at all. He is breathing. He's breathing pretty heavily right now. His mouth is open.
But he's pacing himself very, very well. He came back to the corner. It didn't look like he was doing much of anything.
Short chopping right landed by Moreno.
He realized the heat factor here.
But McKinney continues to fire scoring combinations.
It's the first time I've seen McKinney get underneath a nice left hook by fighting inside.
He doesn't bend too much, Bob. In the gym, they were trying to tell him to bend his knees, but he's a straight-up fighter. Moreno would have to score a knockout to win this fight, Tim.
He sure would, and he's been taking the punishment here in round 6. Left and a right for McKinney.
You notice there's no pivot on those punches, Mom. He threw that right hand, landed right on the butt.
Yeah, but did you see the backhander that he threw on the left jab?
Well, he apologized for it.
Yeah. It's illegal. I think his corner wants him to work a little harder to end this fight.
Well, I think he can just cruise in now, Mom. No sense doing any...
They didn't put it next time.
Right.
Under a minute to go in the fight. McKinney with 2 knockouts in his 3 professional starts. There's a good short combination from McKinney.
See the way that right hand just popped out? It's almost like a jab.
And I like the way how he's just nice and relaxed with it.
Oh, the punches just flow. Very fluid.
And again, he used that long reach. If he backs up, it just seems that he attack you with it. He reaches you.
Is this a championship prospect we're looking at, Marvin Hagler?
It looks like it, you know. But they got to take him along real slow, though.
Kennedy McKinney, the Olympic gold medalist. Red trunks, apparently on his way to his 4th pro victory without a loss, barring one big punch from David Moreno.
He's just like hitting a big bag right now.
Yeah.
Nice belly shot. Nice belly shot.
Final seconds. The 6th round featherweight bout.
He Dropping that left hand, though. Good fight.
So there's Kennedy McKinney, and I think confident of victory. Our car would show him a handy winner over David Moreno, a game young pro from Houston, Texas. Just outgunned in terms of quantity, and you may see that on the Ashton Tate punch stat, because Kennedy McKinney certainly was the busier of the two over the 6 rounds. David Moreno got his attention in round 2, but McKinney kind of took things away through the remaining 4 rounds of this featherweight bout. And you can see that folks have filled up the stadium here at Caesars Palace.
Marv, let's take a look at that Ashton Tate punch stat. McKinney landed 227 punches, a 33% average. Moreno only 134. I didn't think he landed that much.
No, it didn't.
With a 23% average, but again,
the punches thrown
you know,
in,
Moreno did land a couple of hard punches, but I don't think he landed 134.
It didn't look like that many, you know, but it was a very good fight, though. You have to give it credit. And plus, especially, I give both guys credit by fighting in this type of heat.
That's what I think. If McKinney could go 6 rounds under these conditions, they could put him in an 8-round fight and not worry about him getting tired. Let's go up to the ring to Michael Buffer for the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the official score. Chuck Champa scores about 60 to 54. Bill Graham has it 59-55, and Paul Smith scores it 60 to 54 for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Kennedy McKinney.